And we're back. I'm Jack, your British goat, and we've got Cal Riley today. He is the player this week we're going to be focusing on. And this title of this video is How Cal Riley Took Over Baseball. No, I know nothing about Cal Riley, but his name has appeared several times in my comments when I'm asking you guys to let me know what specific player we should check out. And I thought this would be quite an interesting video. Instead of doing the highlights, we can kind of see how this guy has come from nowhere effectively and why he's now considered one of the best in the league, or I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one. Let's go. That's the beauty of it. I don't know.
One of the most exciting players in all of baseball. I
don't even know who he plays for.
First half of 2025, he got off to the greatest start by a catcher in history, hitting 38 home runs, playing Gold Glove defense, and winning the Home Run Derby. So it's no surprise why Raleigh is suddenly getting so much attention. However, just a few years ago, he was basically unknown, and his future in baseball was pretty uncertain, which is why, to really understand how he became the superstar that he is today, we need to go back to where it all started in the first place.
Okay.
Raleigh was born in North Carolina in 1996, surrounded by baseball his entire childhood. And under the guidance of his father who had played in college, Cal would become obsessed with the game. Even at a young age.
I will say quickly, if you would rather I just do game highlights on the players, let me know. Or if I find other videos like this on the specific players, you guys will let me know. Obviously down in the comments, let me know any other players you want me to check out. If you'd rather I do it this way or highlights, you guys let me know what you want to see.
He would spend countless hours practicing, hitting from both sides of the plate to work on his coordination. However, despite his dedication, he was met with a heartbreaking response when he eventually tried out for his local high school team. Not good enough. He can't make the team. If he works really hard, one day he'll be a Division III player. Nonetheless, Raleigh was not going to give up that easily, and after continuing to work with his father to develop his skills, he was able to make the team as a sophomore at a different high school. But still, it wasn't until his final season that he would really start drawing attention. As a senior, he stood at 6'3", weighing around 200 pounds. And after hitting .459 with 10 home runs, he was able to continue chasing his dreams at Florida State, a Division I college. However, he still had a lot to work on, and the real journey had only just begun. As a freshman, Raleigh immediately became the starting catcher, appearing in every single game and putting up solid numbers. Though, unfortunately, after playing through a hand injury and managing an insane workload, his numbers would fall dramatically as a sophomore. And because of this, there were concerns about his long-term potential. But still, Raleigh was determined to find success. And as a junior, he immediately bounced back, hitting 13 home runs and posting the highest average on the entire team. So, despite his struggles as a sophomore, Raleigh was selected by the Mariners in the 3rd round of the MLB draft. And in the years following, he would continue working to become the best catcher possible. I
didn't know he was a catcher, I'll be honest. I didn't even think I'd ever do a video on a catcher. Okay.
His professional debut in the summer of 2018, recording a .288 average with 8 home runs in his first 38 games. And the following year, he was promoted to AA after once again putting up great numbers at the plate.
Nice.
As for his defense, he made several improvements, especially to his throwing motion, which allowed him to catch more runners on the bases. But maybe the most impressive aspect of his game was his incredible attention to detail at such a young age. You see, Cal had always been a smart kid in the classroom, but it also showed on the field, because
also I will do a highlight video of him if you want as well. I just thought I'd try this for to kind of just see if this is
before every game, he would craft his own scouting reports and work with pitchers to create extensive game plans. So over the years, he developed a strong connection with his pitchers, and it showed when he made it to AAA. On June 12th, 2021, he received a pitch right down the middle that was called a ball, and understandably, he made a comment to the umpire which led to his ejection from the game. However, rather than being criticized for this outburst, he was praised for his actions. And even Edgar Martinez, a former star for the Mariners, said this: "I like Cal's reaction. He is protecting his pitcher and team. That pitch was down the middle. Cal showed he is a leader, and that passion goes
Paid
a
off
long
for
way.
it, because that could have
So,
gone the other way.
fueled by the support of his organization, he would perform incredibly, hitting for an average of .324 with 9 home runs.
Nice.
And even more notably, he struck out in just 12% of his at-bats, a massive improvement compared to previous years. So, at this point, the Mariners decided that he was ready for MLB. But following his debut in July, it became clear that he still had a lot to work on. But first, I want to give a quick thanks to Arena Club for sponsors Evan. If you 80% true, you can Raleigh with using code average.
Skip.
In his first taste of the majors, Raleigh would struggle to find success at the plate, and under the immense pressure of his new environment, he began chasing pitches out of the zone, causing his strikeout rate to skyrocket, which, as a result, led to an abysmal average of just 180, with only 2 home runs across 47 games. And the following year, things would only get worse, as in April, he would struggle just as much before being sent down to AAA. However, despite this unfortunate start to his career, Cal did his best to stay optimistic, saying this: "I'm not hitting the panic button, I'm not freaking out. I want to be doing well, but it is what it is."
Like I said, I haven't seen his gameplay, and I think we will definitely do a highlight video as well. But his attitude, dedication to his craft, I'm a fan of him, and I haven't seen anything, and I'm a fan of him.
And it's only going to make me better in the long run. Fortunately, it wouldn't take long for him to get another opportunity, as the team's starting catcher, Tom Murphy, suffered a season-ending injury in May. And going forward, Cal seemingly made it his goal to never lose a spot on the team ever again.
So when was this? It didn't tell me the time.
Earlier that year, he had taken some advice from one of his teammates, Mitch Haniger, and that advice was pretty simple: to hunt the fastball and simplify his approach at the plate, which was exactly what Cal needed to hear, because throughout the rest of the season, his chase rate on pitches out of the zone dropped significantly. So as a result, he started getting better pitches to hit, allowing him to make harder, more consistent contact. And by the end of the year, he had racked up 27 home runs with an OPS of 854. But to make things even better, he began to show off his ability in clutch situations. On September 30th, he delivered a game-winning home run against Oakland, sending the Mariners to the postseason for the first time in over 20 years.
Wow.
So even though his team would eventually lose in the ALDS, Raleigh had gone from a lost cause to an everyday player in the span of a single year. But over the next few seasons, he would become better than anyone expected.
MVP favorite. Look, we got a mid-vid sub session as always. If you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please go down below right now. We upload 2 to 3 videos every single day, and we're trying to get that 5,000 sub goal. So please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the like button if you have not yet done it.
In 2023, he began the year with more confidence than ever, reflecting on his journey by saying this: "It's not easy to come into this league and have success right away. I'm just really excited to get going this year and build off what happened last year." Driven by his recent success, he would have another solid year. On May 15th, he became the first catcher in history to hit a home run on both sides of the plate in a single game. And throughout the year, he would top his previous
What does that mean?
year. On May 15th, he became the first catcher in history to hit a home run on both sides of the plate in a single game. And throughout the year, he would top his previous best by hitting 30 home runs, the most of any catcher in baseball. So, despite some frustrations over his team failing to make it back to the postseason, Raleigh was becoming one of the best players at his position. And 2024 was no different. At the plate, he hit 34 home runs and drove in 100 for the first time in his career. And behind the plate, he had become one of the best catchers in baseball when it came to framing pitches and throwing out runners. So it was no surprise when he took home his very first Gold Glove award as well as the Platinum Glove. But still, he had yet to reach his full potential, as in 2025, he would have one of the greatest first halves in history. Over the offseason, the Mariners signed Raleigh to a 6-year contract worth $105 million, and he wasted no time proving his worth. At the beginning of the season, he displayed immense confidence at the plate, resulting in more walks, fewer strikeouts, and better contact. But the most notable improvement was his sudden dominance on the right side of the plate. You see, throughout his entire life, most of his power came from his left side, like in 2023, when 26 of his 30 home runs were hit as a lefty. However, after years of hard work, this was no longer the case in 2025, as he was suddenly posting a significantly higher OPS from the right side,
really like this
which,
guy.
as you can imagine, made him a much bigger threat, as opposing teams could no longer take advantage of his weaker side. So, unsurprisingly, he got off to an incredible start, hitting 10
look at that kit as well, that is beautiful.
So, unsurprisingly, he got off to an incredible start, hitting 10 home runs in April, and the following month he would hit 12 home runs, becoming the first catcher in history to reach 20 before the end of May.
Wow.
But still, this was merely the beginning, as he would somehow manage to get better as time went on. On June 20th, he went 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, and with 29 on the season, he now held the record for the most home runs by any catcher before the All-Star break. Overall, he would finish with 38 before the break, setting a career high and falling just 1 short of the MLB record set by Barry Bonds. Even more impressively, he was doing all of this while playing Gold Glove defense behind the plate. So, it came to no one's surprise when he was selected as an All-Star for the first time in his career. And in addition,
I am in awe of this man. Like, my knowledge of baseball is nowhere compared to all of you guys who watch stuff like this. And you guys want to say, nah, there's better players out there. But wow.
And he elected to compete in the Home Run Derby against stars like Matt Olson, James Wood, and Byron Buxton. But despite their best efforts, these players were no match for Raleigh, who became the first catcher in MLB history to win the event. In the span of just a couple years, Cal Raleigh became one of the best all-around players in baseball, and it's very likely that his 2025 season will end up as the greatest by a catcher in history. So, despite being overlooked and doubted for most of his life, he's proved everyone wrong. And for now, it's safe to say that Raleigh is one of the most exciting stars in all of baseball.
You know what that coach knows? Your coach... He said it because maybe when he was younger, that's what he was destined to be. But I reckon those words stick with him every day. Wow, look. Yeah, we'll do a highlight video on Cal Raleigh as well. Let me know if you like this type, and we could do this for other players. I just thought I'd try it. You know, let me know what you want to think down below. And of course, let me know other players you want me to check out, let's say once a week. We'll specify one specific player from basketball, MLB, and the NFL. So, like I said, while you're down there, please hit the like button and subscribe button. Hope you have a great day. Peace.